Your living room is covered in the right colors this season. Warm terracotta throw pillows. Sage green vases. The trending palette everyone told you to buy. So why does it still feel flat, like a showroom nobody actually lives in? Here's the uncomfortable truth going into 2026. Color was never the thing making those spaces you admire feel expensive. Texture was doing all the work the whole time, and color was just getting the credit. If you want to stop wasting money chasing paint chips and start understanding what actually makes a room feel designed, hit subscribe right now because this channel, Home Intel, breaks down home design with real data, not just trends. And by the end of this video, you will see every room you own differently. Why your eye gets bored fast. Color is processed by your brain almost instantly. You see terracotta, your brain tags it. Done. Moving on. Texture takes longer to read. Visually, your eye is built to detect contrast and shadow, and texture creates tiny highlights and shadows across a surface, what designers and 3D artists call micro shadows and surface normals. A flat painted wall reflects light evenly, so your eye scans it once and moves on. A textured surface like lime wash, linen, or raw wood scatters that light in every direction, forcing your eye to linger and scan longer. That extra processing time is exactly why textured rooms feel richer, more dynamic, and more grounded, even when the color palette underneath is basic. The 2026 shift to quiet luxury. For years, the home decor industry sold seasonal color stories. A shade gets crown color of the year. Brands flood shelves with it. You repaint or rebuy, then it's gone. But 2026 belongs to a different movement entirely, often called quiet luxury or warm minimalism. It's less about chasing a hue and more about durability, biophilic design, and sensory richness. Think lime wash, raw plaster, natural stone, and boucle. Consumers are tired of the cycle of buying a trending color only to replace it again a year later. Texture does not expire the way a trending color does. A chunky knit throw or a lime wash wall reads as intentional in every season, not just the one it was marketed for. The problem nobody names: sensory under stimulation, with more people working from home and spending more waking hours surrounded by their own walls than ever. A specific kind of fatigue is becoming a real documented issue in interior design: sensory under stimulation. It's what happens when a space is flat, drywall heavy, and sterile, giving your senses nothing to actually register. Your brain quietly registers at boredom even if you can't name it, and it's a huge reason a fully coordinated color-correct room can still feel emotionally empty. How texture actually creates seasonal feeling. Here's the part most people get backwards. You do not need to repaint a wall to make a room feel like fall or winter. You need to change what your hand, and I expect to touch. Swap a smooth cotton throw for a heavy wool one. Trade glass vases for raw ceramic or stoneware. Add a woven rattan tray instead of a lacquered one. These small texture swaps signal seasonal shift to your brain faster than color does, because texture carries a temperature association. Rough, nubby, matte surfaces read as warm and cozy. Smooth, glossy, cool surfaces read as fresh and airy. That contrast is the entire mechanism behind home feeling seasonally updated without a single can of paint. The rule of three. Professional stagers and designers follow a simple, well-known industry standard called a rule of three: at least 3 contrasting textures in any seating area. 1 hard and smooth, like leather or polished stone. 1 soft and fuzzy, like boucle or velvet. 1 rough and natural, like jute, rattan, or raw timber. Miss this, and a room feels sterile no matter how perfect the color scheme is. This is also why all white or all beige rooms, done right, still feel warm and layered. The color is quiet, but the textures are loud, and that contrast is doing the emotional work color alone cannot do. Budget-friendly texture swaps for this season. You do not need a renovation budget for this. A textured throw blanket, a jute or sisal rug layered directly over an existing one, ribbed ceramic vases, linen curtains instead of polyester, and unfinished with accents are all low-cost changes that shift a room's entire feel. Thrift stores and marketplace listings are especially good right now, since raw wood, stoneware, and vintage woven pieces are exactly the imperfect, Tactile finds that mass-produced smooth decor cannot replicate. The mistake most people make with texture, overloading one type of texture, is just as flat as having none. A room full of only smooth, shiny surfaces feels cold and showroom-like. A room full of only chunkiness feels heavy and cluttered. The goal is contrast, smooth against rough, matte against a little sheen, hard against soft. That contrast is what your eye actually registers as designed rather than just decorated. So before you buy another trending color this season, look at what your room is actually missing, which is almost always texture, not hue. Start with one swap, a throw, a rug, a vase, and watch how much more finished the whole space feels. If this video changed how you see your own home, that is exactly what Home Intel is here for. So subscribe for more honest, unsponsored home design breakdowns, and I will see you in the next one.